it is not a surprise that this memoir, Fay Wray and Robert Riskin, a Hollywood memoir, is a labor of love, because it is written by their daughter Victoria. Hi, I'm Annie, and it is April. This means it is a Giant Ape-Ril, and the whole of the month of April we read all kinds of giant ape and other giant monsters, related fiction and non-fiction. So you can read about King Kong, Bigfoot, Yeti, but also other monsters like Godzilla. This reading event is hosted by Roy over at Roy Reads Anything and co-hosted by Duncan at Backaway from the Donkey, and also co-hosted by me. So I read this excellent memoir, and I can only give praise to Victoria Riskin for writing this very, very lovingly memoir of her parents. So this biography is mainly about the lives of Fay Wray and Robert Riskin. You may know Fay Wray, of course, from her famous role in King Kong that was filmed back in 1933. And Robert Riskin was a very famous screenwriter. And he was really prolific. He wrote a lot of excellent movie scripts, and he even won an Oscar for one. But it is Victoria Riskin also writes about other people that were important in the lives of Robert Riskin and Fay Wray, like Capra, the film director, and of course there is a chapter about Marion C. Cooper, the brains behind the King Kong film. He was really an adventurous man. He did a lot of dangerous stuff. He was really an interesting character. But I will talk more about him when I discuss all of the King Kong films I have watched. And so that is very, very interesting. Although this biography isn't very critical, it gives a good insight into the lives of Victoria Riskin's parents. Fay Wray was, like I said already, an accomplished actress when she met Robert Riskin, and Robert Riskin was already a famous screenplay writer. So that is interesting to know. It isn't highly detailed, but like I said, it gives a good insight into the way films were made and how it changed over the time. So we see how films are made in the pre-Second World War era and in the post-Second World War era. There is Victoria Riskin writes about the censorship of the Hays Code, that was, I don't know how to put it in English, but you couldn't have nudity, and everything had to be had a moral to the story, and you couldn't do much sexy things. So, like for example, in the 1933 version of King Kong, there was a scene in it where King Kong holds Fay Wray in his hands and slowly peels away some of her clothing and sniffs it. And that didn't pass the Hays Code because you couldn't have that. Fortunately, this scene was restored in later films. So if you buy the DVD now, you can see the film like it was intended in 1933. Victoria Riskin also writes about the Hollywood blacklist in the 1950s, as there was a fanatic hunt going on in America to stop the influence in communist Hollywood. They thought, well, all these writers and filmmakers and directors and so on, they have to be cleansed of the communist influences. So there were a lot of careers cut short, as to say, because those people, directors, writers, but actors as well, were blacklisted. So that is really an interesting chapter as well, and how it infected the lives of mainly Robert Riskin, although he was summoned for a hearing. There were these hearings, and he had to defend himself for certain films he wrote, and but his name was cleared in the end. So he was one of the lucky ones not to get blacklisted. I like the writing style of Victoria Riskin a lot. Victoria Riskin reflects on the life of her parents. She uses vivid descriptions, and she weaves together personal anecdotes, reflections, and historical context. So she does this very well, in my opinion. This memoir is really well balanced, and Victoria switches easily between the life of her father and the life of her mother. So I think she did a good job, and that, like I said earlier, this memoir is a labor of love, so there is not very much criticism in this memoir. Is this a bad thing? Well, I don't know, but I must admit that I didn't mind. It is so well written. I found it so well written that I didn't mind it a bit. And this, it's also there are also very many photographs in it. So yeah, that livens. There is a lot of photographs in it. That gives a good insight on the lives of Robert Riskin and Fay Wray. So I can highly recommend this. I tried to find the autobiography of Fay Wray, but I don't remember the exact title, but that's really expensive. But this is a really good alternative, I must say. So I can highly recommend it if you are interested in the lives of King Kong's leading lady, and also the life of Robert Riskin. He was also very fascinating character. So, hope you enjoyed this video. As always, thanks for watching.